Willie D Live.
Wow. Man, I saw you on Instagram. You be lighting that Instagram up, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow this man on Instagram. I mean, lighting them up. You was lighting up some dude some dude was ask you would you be offended if he called you a monkey and boy, you tore that boy down. I mean, like ripped him up, man. Man, where you get that from, man? Who in your family? Is there anybody in your family that's like that, man? That's really quick on their feet with the insults?
Well, that's another thing in Black culture. We play the dozens, and you as a rapper, that we always been sharp with language, and in fact, I think in America, if you look at America's great orators, we're overrepresented as Black people, right? The Malcolm X, the Martin Luther King. You ain't seen nobody put words together like Martin Luther King. I don't agree with his ideology, but he throw them words together.
He put the words together, but he had a clapback. He ain't had it. I'm talking about that street vernacular, clapback, educated. Mm-hmm. Like your clapback is it's an additional disrespect towards your clapback because it's calm, it's measured, it's well thought out, it's zero profanity. It's when you clap at somebody, man, like you don't really leave any wiggle room, man. Like usually there's some wiggle room for somebody to come back or whatever. But I just be seeing them, like I seen dude after dude after dude. I mean, you tearing them dudes up. I mean, dude after dude after dude after dude get destroyed. And I'm like, why in the hell is they messing with this man?
It'd be crazy. They still
keep, if they know.
I'd be shocked myself.
Yeah, like why would you even like? I'm not going live with this dude, man. I'm not getting on your live talking no shit. Like where does that come from though, man? Like I got you, that is part of our culture and everything, but.
I'm assuming the same is true in Houston. When we were young boys, you wanted to be a hooper or a rapper, or a drug dealer, a successful drug dealer. That's pretty much all it was. My hoop game was decent, and I was convinced I was going to be a rapper. Now, see, I never smoke or drink, and so I had to cut that off because you can't go to the studio apparently without smoking and drinking. So I had to get up out of there. But very early on. And also you got to remember, I was the poorest kid. Before I started hustling, I was like the poorest kid. So it's like, you wearing the Pro Wings and the shoes nobody never heard of because they're in Payless. And apparently you cannot save money as a Black person. Saving money as a Black person is out of the question. So when you already know they coming for you, like your mom then went and got you the Payless joints that nobody's heard of, you already know when you lacing them joints up, as soon as you get to school, it's going to be an issue. And then the last piece is, I'm dealing with the facts. And when I talk to people, I'm a very observant person. And what I figured out from my mother, because my mother's not the brightest star in the sky or the sharpest knife in the drawer, but she knows how to make her way in this world because she's never been afraid to ask for help. She needs some help, she'll ask somebody. And also, she gonna buckle down and be diligent and do what she has to do to make things work. And I believe in the ability of the Black woman to thrive and survive. That's why I'm not worried about EBT wiping out Black women. Black people have made it through a lot more than EBT not being around. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely correct.
I believe in them.
Yeah.
But going in knowing that you was gonna have to deal with people verbally, and me being someone who's very observant, hyper observant, and diligent, and I'm seeing everything. I'm gonna talk about the thing ain't nobody even ever said to you. Some you ain't even know what's wrong with you.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? You ain't even know what's wrong with you, but I peeped it. And the funny thing is, I actually got to a point where I stopped like joking with people, maybe around like the 6th grade, because I was like more so just talking the facts. And I noticed that it would break people down so quickly and so deeply that they always just want to fight.
Right.
So I couldn't even play when everybody was playing. I just couldn't even get in there because they're going to want to fight because I'm going to go too deep. And the worst thing about it, because I'm insensitive, like I was raised not to be sensitive. And I'll just give a note on that real quick afterward. But because I'm not sensitive, I'd never gauge properly like when you're really hurting somebody. So
Right.
I never even just get into it. And the reason I was insensitive is because my family, the women in my family, were convinced that they had to make me a man. And I think in the absence of a man being there and knowing what a man actually is, they use their imagination. And in their imagination, a man had to be super strong and very resilient and very tough and very hard. And that's what they made me into, probably to a fault. And
Yeah.
so that's pretty much where it came from. But a lot of these characters you see on the internet, they come with recycled things that I've heard before or I've anticipated. And the challenge with them is that I actually know who I am as a black human being, which most black people have not the foggiest idea of. And I also know who they are. And that's the part that is new. Most of us don't know who we are, so we surely don't know who they are. And so the last one you were talking about, that was a guy who's an Egyptian. So you're not an Egyptian, you're an Arab. You're an Arab on stolen land. And I can recount to you that history. Like, how Egyptian can you be when the Assyrians have gone through there, the Greeks have gone through there, the Romans have gone through there, the Arabs have gone through there. You had 5 civilizations conquer you, and you think that you are the original people that were in Kemet? Give me a break. And then they say things like, you're a monkey. You're like, oh, well, this is not a new one. They've been saying this for hundreds of years. And the funnier thing, they used to call us Neanderthals. Did you know that? And then they found out we don't have Neanderthal DNA. They do. So these are the things that I expect. I already know what they're going to say, and I know who they are. And what I do, same thing I've always been doing, I just talk the facts. I just tell them who they are.